Another drawing session with Ferdouse on the Paintology drawing app. So, as you know, if you're new to this channel, you know that digital drawing can be done very differently to the majority of the way people do digital drawing, which are basically using many of the tools. And there's a good reason why they use so many tools is because it's pretty obvious what the tool does, but when it comes to learning art techniques and drawing techniques, this is something you need to develop. And traditional artists are quite good at that. And hence the reason why many people struggle to draw in the traditional medium, but they find it easy with the digital medium because of the tools. But that's the one of the biggest reasons why many people don't choose to draw like the way I do, which are based on techniques. And this is where I'm here to teach you those techniques. So as you can see, this was a live stream drawing that I did. So I typically divide the drawing into two segments. One is this Paintology channel. And then if you look at the description, you can hop on to the second part of this drawing where I complete it. And that's on part 2. So this is not the drawing we're going to do. So I have to show you a few things for the sake of the new people who are joining, to show them where everything is so they get a better idea of how to paint along or draw along with me. It's very important that you draw along with me, and to do that you have to look at this page. So let's go back this page. You can see that if you go to paintology.com, okay, paintology.com, as you can see here, paintology.com, just go to that page and then you'll come across a button, daily step by step, just below the screen, below the learn to draw, the screenshot, and then go to daily step by step, that button, and then you'll come to this page. And this page happens to contain all the information with the upcoming YouTube live stream. As you can see here, 11th October starts today, and then stream is Paintology. So this actually now takes you directly to the actual stream where you can go there and follow me while I'm drawing. And so it's all live. It's a live stream. And the reference image for this drawing that I pick is this one. So I'm going to download this. So I've got this download image to my local phone, yeah, and that's the one we're going to do. And there are reasons why I picked this, but then again, I'd like to hear from you guys what your challenges are when it comes to drawing on the phone or digitally, because I'm teaching you techniques. So, and I'm not teaching you, I don't have a specific picture or goal in mind, like a simple anime or anything like that. I have a pretty complex photos, pictures that I use as a reference to make the drawing and to develop the core skills in art. You will note that if you go to any art class, they will not just draw from imagination. Yeah, if they did that's not an art teacher. That's someone who thinks they know what they're doing, but an art teacher will always ground you in looking at object in front of you and learning about tones and shades, and then reference image to point out tones and shades in photos, and then they almost inevitably show you black and white photos because tones and shades are much easier to understand. So these are things I've covered in the whole live stream. And I've been doing this live stream for the past couple of months. You can go all the way down and you'll see that I've got completed drawings here that I've made on the phone. You can see here. These were initially done in landscape. This one is in portrait. So these were all done on the phone. And it's such a pleasure to make drawings like this. But again, as I said, we use the reference image to build these skills, these very important skills. You probably heard of the trace method of drawing. This is only available in, this is just known to majority in the traditional sense, but in the digital, the way I've included in the Paintology is way more versatile and powerful, and hence allows you to develop your skills way more rapidly as well. And in the 2 months that I have been doing this, I can tell you, even though I'm not a bad artist and to begin with, I can tell you my skills and understanding and appreciation of the digital medium has just multiplied. It just continues to increase. So I hope I can bring the same benefit to you. So you can go through all that and watch the live streaming content, so you're free to watch that. And so another item I want to mention, and please do draw along with me. Another item I want to mention is the Google Classroom, and not many people are signing up to this, so I'm hoping that they would, because this is not a class to teach you about the Paintology app. You will see very online classes that emphasizes the application, like Procreate, Ribus, they emphasize Photoshop and all that. That's not your aim. Your aim is not to master the application. Your aim is to develop art techniques, art skills. Okay, that's vastly different to learning about the app, because if you do, you become tied to the app, and believe it or not, you will hit a wall in time. You see the drawings that I've done. It's just impossible to say that was done with digitally or traditional. No one can guess, and that's because of the methods and techniques that I use. And you probably come here to learn those techniques. You just don't want to do illustrations, graphics, or vector graphics, logos. That's what I use Photoshop for. I wouldn't use it for any pleasure of drawing like this. So this is a Google Classroom free, and you can see the link in the description. So I encourage you to join. It's been structured in a daily practice sessions, and then you can go to some of the tutorials that are actually tied to these drawing practices. And these are, and I'll show you this quickly. But before I do that, I'm just gonna show you, this is my Samsung Note phone. That's what I used to draw, but I'm typically now using the stylus, but you can use your fingers. So I'm going to go to Paintology, and then I'm going to go back. I've already saved this, so I don't need to. And then go to this tutorials, and you'll see a lot of tutorials organized by categories. These are free tutorials for you to learn how to draw. Take, for example, the paint by numbers, right? So many for you to practice with. Let's pick one. Let's take this one. It's got a number associated with it, 6211. Okay, let's open that. You can see that you can now use it as a paint by numbers. Really easy. You might have seen paint by numbers where you click on the number and you get the color, right? But that's not the point. If you want to learn art, you need to draw yourself, isn't it? If you just click on it, what are you learning? Nothing. There's no satisfaction. So you can go here, 3. Take, for example, the 3. I'm going to select the 3. So this is a perfect way. You can see, increase the brush. And then let's take, for example, the 2. It's too big, so we're going to reduce the brush. And then reduce it again. Just like paint by numbers, isn't it? It's nothing. This has been designed for you to improve, so you can improve your drawing skills. Save. And then you can resume the work. So you don't have to finish it in one go. This is designed to improve your drawing strokes and block coloring. So look at this tutorial, right? Did you see that this one this, have a look, let me have a look, show you something. This one 9950. Okay, let's go to type in 9950 there. Oops, that's not zeros. There, automatically brings you to the tutorial for you to finish, and then it has a video associated with it. So yeah, so this actually is in grayscale mode, so I'm going to take it out. So make sure you're not in grayscale mode. There. So now you can finish this drawing and follow this. So this is also mentioned in the Paintology classroom. So you see how it works. You can actually do the video, right, and stop where you're looking at the video, and then click on the toggle button, okay, and then continue, and then go back there, and then stop, and then go back. See how it works. So this is the way you learn. So it's a lot more powerful than you think. If you're judging this app based on the tools or the number of tools it has, and it's on the menu, and there you haven't delved far enough. You're just like skimming on the surface, and then you're going to dismiss something which could be of importance to you. So just to let you know that it's a very powerful. There's a 4 or 5 years work behind this. So I'm a technologist and an artist, and so therefore I tied the technical skills in developing the app along with the artistic skills. So this is a unique app. You're not going to find it anywhere. It's very different, and you should think of it like a very different app. Okay, so let's dive into this drawing. I think I've shown you everything there is. Yeah. So let's go ahead and dive into this interesting drawing of the leopard. So oh, by the way, there's a community section which you can sign up. And people upload their drawings right there. So you can join and sign up and upload your artwork. It's something, if you were to do a drawing and upload it, I will sure to check it and give you some feedback. So let's go ahead and draw, then trace mode. And you can do this for any type of drawing. Okay, you can load your grandma's picture like this in trace mode and draw. Okay, look what it is. I mean, if I slide this screen, our cursor, it's just tracing. It's just going all the way to the actual traced image. And then this midpoint is very important because it means that if you're anywhere on the top half, the color picker works for the, have you seen what it did? Let's increase that, okay? I'm going to go here. See, the color picker will pick out the flesh color of that thing. This is very exceptionally powerful, way more powerful. So if I pick the color picker, it's picking these colors that my stylist landed on from the reference. If I were to be here, what color do you think it's going to pick? Yeah, just simply white, because there's nothing there, is it? Okay, so this is called block coloring. It is similar to the paint by numbers, but way more versatile and powerful. Something I developed over a year ago while I was waiting in hospital for an appointment, waiting room to doctors, and then I drew Will Smith using this method, and then I improved it and asked the developers to add this functionality. So this is block coloring. The first thing we're going to do is block coloring. What is that? And it's unfortunate that not many people are doing it because they think it's too complex. It is as simple as paint by numbers, and probably a lot easier. So this is how it works. So let me go here and select a brush size. Let's say 25%. I always like the line brush to start with. Don't worry about this density setting. Gives it exceptional power in being able to draw realistically and and this will come in time with you, but I don't want to put too much information your way. So so we got the cursor here, so we know we're going to pick colors. Yeah, look, picking colors here, and then picking colors, and then simply I could just go and just use the same color and draw this tree, right? And then pick a color here, and then just draw this tree. Right there. It's a big broad brush I used. I'm picking the color pickers so I get the tones, right? So this is very important, tones. Look, that's what I've drawn so far. That's all it is. And then if you reduce the brush size, right, take for example, I zoom in here. Right, watch what happens. I'm going to take it way down, right? About 1%, right? Watch. Then I've still got the cursor halfway above. Color picker, color picker, color picker. What am I doing? I'm actually doing like a paint by numbers of the actual colors, but I've got a reference image exceptionally powerful for you to develop skills. And believe me, these skills that I've developed allows me to do photorealistic drawings relatively easily, unaided by traced image. And that's what you need to do, develop these skills. Okay, let me go here and show you this color picker. And look how I'm capturing these shade tones. There, see? There. Then I'm capturing this light yellow and this. Notice I'm going gradually towards the eyes. Why? Because there's a slight gradient of the tones. Look what we have here. Look at the first impression of the leopard, but it doesn't look like it, right? Then you can keep going. You can use this small brush and keep going, but generally I have a different approach to this because I want to finish the drawing in one go. And it might, if you do it this way, it will take you probably a good 2-3 hours, but it's still worth it because you're learning something. What I'm going to do is, because I like to work fast, I develop techniques that allows me to work fast. So how am I going to do this? So I've got several approaches to this, right? So the thing is, what I'm going to do first is I'm looking at the leopard and the tree. Okay, to me, when I look at that leopard tree, they're like quite focused. Can you see around here? Very focused means very sharp, right? And look at there's another tree branch here that's also focused. And then behind it is a diffused tree line and the sun, light coming from the back. But everything else is focused. The leopard, the tree here, and then that's probably a little defocused, but it's... So what I'm going to do is I just want to make the leopard and see if it comes out, because, you need to learn. You need to set yourself a goal and say, I understand all these techniques. Now, how can I take advantage of it? And then I'm going to make this leopard, and you can see some of the creative stuff I did with some of the drawings earlier. And this leopard and this tree, I want to make it focused, so which means they need to be quite in tonal contrast high. And tones are about everything. Everything is about tones, believe me. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a block coloring of the background. I want to do the background. Remember, I want to keep this tree line and focus, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me see how I'm going to do this. I'm going to go with the bigger pen, right? And then I'm just simply going to use the color picker, bigger pen even. Simply, and I'm not worried about how big it is. Simply going to go over there and just pick the colors, the background, and just lay it down very rapidly, okay? Even the white colors, yeah? I'm not too worried about the background. My main focal point is the leopard and the tree, okay? And then you just use this, oops, just the background is not as detailed, and I really don't care for it. And I want to keep it diffuse, and I'm going to show you a technique of how to make that. Remember, my goal was, so this is going really rapidly, and you can take your time over this. You don't have to rush. Right there. You don't really care what the information is at the back, as long as you have something that resembles. Remember, art is all about trying to make things look almost real, and you can feel some reality in the artwork. If you go to a museum, you'll see that when you look at art pieces, they look grand, you know, when you look close up. But when you actually, when you look from a distance, but when you look close up, they're a mishmash of just plain brushstrokes, colors. And this is what we're doing, mishmash of brushstrokes and colors. That's what I'm doing. That's all you can do. Just follow along with me and just lay this foundational stuff down first, all right? Don't worry about why we're doing it. Just do this. This will help you to improve. Don't try and, get all the answers in one go. And also don't try and be dismissive of trying to get the answers right away. And if you don't get it right away, you're again dismissive. You have to be like a sponge when you want to learn something. You got to be keeping your mind wide open and pick up. Don't give the impression that you've come with a body of knowledge when you haven't really had much practice. And if this method, I'm pretty sure you haven't had any much practice with. So the only thing you can do is watch the teacher at work, right? And do it as well. Not just watch, but do it at the same time if you really want to learn. If you're just here to watch, that's fine. You might like the watching process of painting, which majority of people on YouTube does. They watch these artists that they favor and watch their creation, and it's fine. But nothing can beat the fact that you can actually participate in drawing, just like here. Because now that everyone's got a phone, right? So this is what I'm doing. Look how quickly I'm going through and how quickly I've covered the area. No other tools required. I'm just following. And then I'm going to show you what I have. See that? Just a mishmash of colors. And you may think, oh, what am I doing that for? Okay, let's go here now. And we know the leopard is there. So we're going to just follow some of these colors and just, pick up my colors and just put it in there, right? Just to just pick any colors. Doesn't have to be any color. Just filling in these blanks. That's all I'm doing. Filling in these blanks. You can use the same color and just fill in these blanks, right? Or you can use the color picker so it's local to this, right? This is supposed to be the sky, and we thought it was very light, but look how bluish it is, isn't it? Surprise, isn't it? It's like, tell you, the eye fools. The eye can be very fool you. I'm thinking. Okay, what do we got here? And then do we have anything? Yeah, we haven't done this bit here. Can you see on the left? I want to do this here, so I'm gonna do something with the trees here. I'm not focusing on the tree here. I'm just doing the background. Yeah, I'm not focusing on the foreground tree where the leopard is comfortably slouched looking for its prey, I guess. The way it seems so alert. Right, so we've got this also as his part of his body, isn't it? There. So that's what we're doing. Hopefully you've got up to here, okay? And then we can put some here. And then put some that blue sky there. Very easy. And you don't have to worry about what I'm doing right now. And then now we're going to do the same thing with the tiger. But for now, I'd like to actually just pause for a second while I just take a quick break. I'm going to be back in a couple of minutes. Excuse me. Hello there, and welcome back. So just to carry on from where I left off, and what we need to do is, the next thing we want to do is using the same line brush. See, we haven't changed this. We've using the same line brush. We're going to do the colors, and I'm going to show you. I'm not going to be working in the detail that I did with 1% brush. That's not the aim. I'm going to show you something slightly different. So let me save this. I've been told by my developer that I should save this, and then open it up again. And the reason for that is I'm actually working on a prototype app due to the next release that's coming up soon. But for you, you don't have to worry about it, okay? You can use the live app currently. So this is what I have. So I'm going to do this, right? The leopard does not change its spots, So what we're going to do is, I'm going to do this. Let me show you what I'm doing. Here, I'm going to pick this color, and then I'm assuming that this is the color of the leopard, yeah? Okay, this is the color, the main bulk color. That's all I'm doing. And then I'm going to pick his color again. It might be lighter there. This is something that traditional artists do, and you won't feel any different to what traditional artists work, right? And notice I'm actually going to keep selecting that color because the tonal value of that background does change. Okay, it does change. And so you need to pick the background color that closely resembles the leopard, yeah? again, this side of him, right? Then there's a white here, and then I can see another lovely, and then I'm not worried about the spots. The leopard spots never change. That's just a saying that I heard. I don't know exactly the meaning. Okay, so now here, the same thing. I'm picking a darker tone, which is fine. And then it'll be a darker tone, yeah, which is fine, no problem. And then here, finish his paws off here, right there. And then it's got darker tone. And then while you're there, just get the tree line, follow it. See, I've still got it, and I don't have to even look at the, and now I'm going to do the same thing. So I got these 9%. So you can start going in, drilling right to the details of it if you want to, but really artistic skills require you to be very expressive and to find quick, easy ways that allows you to get to the... People forget about speed, you know, in hyperrealism, people go on about it, but they forget that that is so tedious. It requires like several weeks to complete just one drawing. Sorry to say, I don't have the patience for that. I can make realistic artwork pretty quickly. With these techniques, I can make realistic artwork in 2-3 hours sitting. And if I can do that, I'm pretty happy. Means I can do more work. So I'm trying to capture the colors of the leopard, the main color, not the spots. Right, that's all I'm doing. Getting the main primary colors. And then here on this, on his, and then you'll see the leopard without its spots. Now let's see what we have. So we've got a leopard of some kind there, right? Which is great. Now let's do finish off the areas that we haven't covered. So the tree, again, color picker, okay? And always use the color picker because you have no idea what the tones are. If you think you know the tones, believe me, when you've used color picker and block coloring, you will realize there are so many tones to a drawing, and that's how you expand your skills. Because it's all about tones. You go to any art class, what do they talk about? Tones, values. It has never been possible to fully appreciate tones like until now, when you have access to a digital tool, same as the teacher has, and then follow along to it, right? So that's what we have here. And then let's see what we have here. We should save this. I don't think I've saved this. Just in case, right? Get into the habit of saving, you know, just like your teacher said, when you work with Microsoft, Excel, or whatever, you know, please save your work here. All right. So, let's see what we have here. So you got a thing. It's almost looking like like what we're supposed to, you know, have the form and shape. So these are the colors we picked up through block coloring. Okay, it's very important you do that. And then, and now we've got this, and we're trying to get close to this. This is where beginners will always get confused with, how do you carry this drawing from one step to another? This is called a drawing process. The drawing process is something that's really sorely overlooked by many artists. And the reason why it's sorely overlooked is because it's unique. because most of the drawing process is unique to the individual. Even in digital drawing, the drawing process cannot be replicated because they're accessing so many tools. The drawing process here is very simple because I'm not accessing tools. I've got the same brush. I haven't changed anything except the size. I'm not accessing many tools. So the drawing process in Paintology is much more better understood. And when you have to understand what the drawing process is, what is it in your opinion? It's actually the notion. So it's actually, I'm just covering the areas that I see are white still. It's actually the stepwise manner in trying to take this to all the way to the finish. Now, many digital artists say, where's the layers? Layers, please, layers. And says, I'm not using layers. I don't want to use layers. Why? This traditional tech drawing has layers, but yet they create impressive works of art? No, because they understand their tools intimately. In digital art, you don't need layers. Like I said, I would use layers when I'm creating digital artifacts for the website or for logos, graphics, or anything else. You know, like I said, I'm a very highly advanced user of Photoshop, but I wouldn't use it for drawing. So they come to expect the same thing in drawings well as. It's unfortunate because there was a person who kept insisting I should have layers, and I said, why? Send me a picture so I can show you how you can make a drawing without layers. And then they wouldn't reply, so sadly. But that's how they become so accustomed to thinking. Now, what are we going to do? Okay, so what are we doing for time? I don't want to overstep our time. Okay, 9:07. I've still got a bit of time. So now the next thing I'm going to do is show you the background. This is very interesting. You're going to like this. So look how I'm going to diffuse. Remember I said I'm going to make the leopard and the tree that he's slouched on, ready for a kill, right? Jump down and ready for. I'm going to make this very distinct, showing and the rest I'm going to diffuse. Watch what I'm going to do, how I diffuse it. Switch to the line brush to the shade. Okay. And now I got it at 10% or 11%. That's fine. And then I'm going to keep that hardness all the way up. I don't want to confuse the issue, all the way up. So you do the same. And then I'm going to pick the color picker, and here it goes. And what I'm going to do, using a sort of round strokes, I'm just taking that color, blending it. The shading is like a blending effect. Look, I'm going to take that black as well, blend it, okay? There, and this, there. And you'll be surprised at how beautifully it blends. Just do that, okay? And then you'll see how wonderfully the leopard stands out, like it's really prominent. It's such wonderful to see. Okay, just blend these areas. Try and blend the larger areas first. Okay, I've taken the blue, blended it to the next, and then taken that dark green with the color picker and blended it like that, okay? That's all there is. Just don't wait for a result right away. Again, color picker, blend it. Take the green, blend it. Okay, and then this one, the green, blend it. Because you know the green represents, like, our eyes are going to immediately think, oh, that green is some kind of the background somewhere, part of the tree's defocus, right? Cameras do a lot of trickery now. They have something called the portrait mode, which you may not have used. But the portrait mode allows you to diffuse the background because it's focusing more on the foreground. This is what we're effectively doing. See that, how it blended in that? There. Just blend it. And I'm just trying to get the really rough areas right here, the very distinct areas that are so, just trying to round it off. It's a nice experience doing this because you can see the whole composition of the painting change as you're doing this. Okay. Just blend it like that. Again, these are new techniques that even I haven't come across, but I'm basing it on my knowledge of the Paintology app. Just like I developed the block coloring, if you keep your skill levels always in par. It was a question on Quora. Oh, by the way, I'm a very active user of Quora. I encourage you to please take a look at the my Quora, paintology.quora.com. Okay. Oh, we don't want to go to that. I've almost touched that leopard. And then you'll find very interesting topics that I've answered. I've answered probably about close to over 1,400 questions answered. It's related to art, so you should check it out. And there was one question posed I just answered just before I joined this, did this. It was related to the it was related to, I'm focusing on what I'm doing as well at the same time talking. Sorry if I stop for a while. It was related to the person. It says, do you ever reach did they ask that, is it possible that you reached the pinnacle of improving your art skills? And then I said, what? Are you crazy? You never reach your art skills. And I told them, that's like saying that mankind will stop progressing because they've progressed enough, right? So that was an analogy I used. And then I gave them an example and I said, well, I've been doing live streaming close to 2 months now, and I can tell me, believe or not, I have improved my skills to such a level that I cannot contemplate telling you how much, even though I'm a pretty accomplished artist, and if I had the mindset that I knew everything, I'd be closed to the possibility of improvement. Remember that, it's a very dangerous proposition to take, to assume that you somehow have acquired all the skills. It's just ridiculous, I'm sorry to say. I said it in a nice way, of course. I'm not going to try and put down the person, right? But I hope they understood what I was saying. Look at this green. We're going to get that green there. Look how he's shaping the back. Can you see how it's prominent now? This is very interesting. It's like really nice to see this effect come out. Right, let's focus on the right now, yeah? Here. And we can change this brush size. You play with it. The more you experiment, the better. Right, the brush size, if we change it, what happens? Yeah, we get a little bit more details in the diffuse, like these tiny little plants, trees that may be branching out, but we don't know what it is, so we don't care, right? Right, there. let's say that this plant, and then we have this color right there. See how much of a beautiful background you can create. You don't know what it is, but you're creating a nice, wonderful background. Diffuse background. I haven't done this before. I'm just doing it now. Just goes to show the power of the digital medium. You learn so much. And it's the reason why I've drawn like this, because I'm thinking, what are tools? They're the tools for to get to the first basic principles of drawing. And most people in digital just are stuck there with tools. Tools are the means to get stuck with the tools, and they talk about the tools because they haven't explored. It's the same thing, but they haven't explored. They may be good at a few strokes and drawing, and that's about it. But you know, to get really good at drawing, you have to really expand your technique or skill set. Okay, so you know, now you can see how this is coming with the smaller brush, because I'm using a smaller brush, giving the impression and the notion that these twigs are really close by. You see now how the leopard is standing out. It's almost like we've managed to take this foreground, background all the way. I had an idea of doing this, and then fortunately it's coming out much better than I expected. I wasn't so sure what to expect, but I think you'd agree that this is great, a good achievement in the technique front, right there. Okay, now this leopard can say, I'm the king. Well, if the lion is around, you could say I'm the king of the woods. But if the lion is around, I don't think you can say that. Well, do you see how it's sort of giving the notion that there is a tree there, right? But there isn't. Right there. Right, and then we're gonna get this. Just play around with it. I'm sure your background is a lot different to mine. I'd like to see your background. Because see, I'm not following the steps. I'm just following the initial colors I put down. Right, so just taking that away now as well. And we don't need, remember, this is going to be the tree stump and then the leopard that's going to be ready to pounce on anything that comes nearby, near his tree, right? I could obviously zoom, but okay, let's take that brown as well. To carry some of that brown. We don't know what it's doing, right? Just fill the areas that. You see, now we've diffused the background, yeah? Because when you have enough techniques under your belt, you can do these techniques, and you're lucky that I can show you these. Otherwise, you'd have to go through the process of learning. You know, the fact that you've got this means that you've been able to progress rapidly and develop your own drawings. Okay, so it looks like we've pretty much got this. Let me just make that tree a little bit. Yeah, diffuse there. Just put that. And then do you see how it's actually worked? It actually looks like this leopard is just waiting to come alive, isn't it? And waiting for us to tackle him. He's just waiting there. He's waiting. Right. I think I've done the background well enough. Yeah, it looks like a nice little background. I remember when I did the first tiger in pastel colors, I was quite pleased with that on a canvas. It was similar to this, creating a diffused background like this with the snow, and then making the tiger step out, a ferocious tiger. And it's actually on the wall of my sister's house. There. Look at that. There. See? Just follow it, and then I think this is too sharp, so I'm gonna diffuse that there. Right. Yes, excellent, excellent. And then here you can see now these, you may not know it, but what you've undergone our actual process, the drawing process that I was telling you about. Okay, I think this looks like we've managed to diffuse this round circular strokes right there. That's all you need. Round circular. Now you can tell this leopard is ready to rock, isn't it? That's going to be probably, let me see the time we have. Yeah, I think I should end it here, and then, so do please join me in the other Ferdouse channel where I will finish this drawing. So that's on Ferdouse channel. You'll see the link on the Ferdouse channel. If not, go to the Ferdouse channel at Ferdouse, YouTube, and then just go to the live stream. You'll see part 2 of this. Thank you for watching, and I hope to join you there. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.